Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Right now at 6, armed and dangerous. That's how police describe a suspected murderer who is on the run after shooting and killing a DoorDash driver.
And an emergency room flooded. What caused water to rush into Duke University Hospital, forcing patients to go elsewhere?
And this morning we are tracking rain chances. There's definitely some showing up on radar. We're going to go over where this is headed and a look at our weekend forecast coming up.
6 o'clock on your Friday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us here. I'm Grace Haba.
I'm Jeff Hogan. Yeah, we appreciate you spending the early part of your Friday with us, making us part of your routine here. I know everybody's kind of out of their routine with all the holidays happening and whatnot. But hey, we are headed to the weekend. There is no question about that on a Friday here. And Anthony Baglione in the WRL Severe Weather Center right now setting us up with some raindrops here to get started.
Yeah, there's a little bit showing up on radar for us this morning. I do think, though, as we go through the weekend, we are going to track some better rain chances, especially by Sunday. So that's something we're going to be watching closely. We get us outside, though, this morning. Here's our live sweep on Dual Doppler 5000, rather. You can see these are mainly pushing up from the southwest to the northeast. So a place like Fayetteville, Dunn, even Goldsboro, that's where we're going to be tracking the rainfall coming through here over the next hour or so. Even a place like Pinehurst, Sanford, this is all kind of scooting this way. That's something we're going to watch here, so it could be a little bit damp on your drive this morning if you're headed out. Here's Futurecast. We continue to show that coverage. The cloud cover will be with us through the majority of today. Temperatures, too, only in the 40s this afternoon. We have a big-time warm-up, though, on the way for the weekend. Who could get close to 70? We're going to talk about that and a look at rain chances for Sunday coming up here in a few minutes.
And as we take a look outdoors, this is a look at what your roads are looking like this morning. This is a look at 440 at Capitol Boulevard. So far, things there moving along pretty smoothly. No issues due to any rain this morning. Looking at the larger picture around the triangle, we do have one reported incident that's on Highway 54 there near Alexander Drive. Still working to learn exactly what happened there and how long that will be an issue for you, but something to look out for if you're heading that way.
Also following breaking news this morning, a McDonald's employee who police say is armed and dangerous is on the run this morning after police say he shot and killed a DoorDash driver. This happened last night on Santa Fe Drive in Fayetteville. You see it on this map here. Nick Perlin joins us from the Fayetteville Police Department in the WRL Breaking News Tracker, and police have identified the suspected shooter and the men who died. This is a pretty disturbing case we're trying to get our heads around here, Nick.
Yeah, Jeff, very interesting circumstances as to how this led up. I can tell you we're still working with Fayetteville Police to find out what caused this McDonald's worker to shoot the DoorDash driver. But at this point in time, the Fayetteville Police Department did say that they believe Kevin Holland, a 25-year-old, carried out that shooting. Now, I want to show you some video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. This is from that McDonald's on Santa Fe Drive in Fayetteville. This was just before 8 o'clock, and you can see Fayetteville police officers blocking off this McDonald's as they continue to try to figure out what happened and what led up to that shooting. Now, I want to show you this picture. This is from the Fayetteville Police Department. We got this at around 3:30. This is who Fayetteville Police are saying carried out that shooting. This is Kevin Holland. They say he fired those gunshots that killed that DoorDash driver. Now, at this point in time, again, still trying to figure out what led to this shooting and why it happened in the first place. Fayetteville Police did tell us, though, that they do plan on charging Holland with first-degree murder. Once we get more information on where the search stands and the investigation, of course, we'll be sure to update you this morning. Live in Fayetteville, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
And we are also following breaking news in Durham this morning where patients are being sent away from Duke University Hospital due to a water pipe burst. This is video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker that we took around 2 this morning. You can see water ponding in the parking lot and hospital staff outside of the emergency room setting things up. Duke University Hospital released a statement saying parts of the hospital were flooded, including the emergency department. Incoming patients were sent to nearby hospitals. The hospital says all current patients have been cared for.
Post-holiday travel is mostly moving smoothly for people flying out of RDU. This is a live look right now at RDU International Airport, Terminal 2 there. Most delays and cancellations the airport saw yesterday were coming out of Dallas. That area got hit hard by storms, so severe weather in some instances, canceled a total of 6 flights to and from Dallas. One family was just happy they could reunite with their son, who was arriving from Dallas after missing Christmas together as a family.
There's we got on the plane, we got delayed for about an hour and a half, and then there was a bunch of turbulence for the first half of the flight. I missed them. Especially my aunt. I don't get to see her a lot, so I really missed her.
Oh, good to see they did get together finally. It was pretty smooth sailing for most everyone else. Across the country, about 54 million people are flying this holiday season. We'll keep you up to date on air and online about any snags the airport may have.
I'm Eric Miller in the WRAL Live Center. And for those millions who are flying today, they're going to want to keep a close eye on those arrival and departure boards. That's because things are starting to get a little messy out there. Taking a look at that flight aware misery map, you can see already across the country tracking 37 delays and 1 cancellation there. Atlanta, a little messy today. You see 5 delays there. But the biggest issues we're seeing out here on the West Coast, 3 delayed out of L.A., 4 delayed out of San Francisco there. That likely tied to that severe weather, all of that rain and snow that they've been dealing with on the West Coast, and all of it coming just 24 hours after the issues travelers had getting to Texas following severe weather there yesterday.
And Eric, that severe weather caused several tornadoes, some captured on camera. Take a look at this video. This is of one touched down several miles southwest of Houston. A driver captured the funnel on camera. Wharton County officials say there's no major damage or injuries reported yet. Northwest of Dayton, Texas, this twister was seen spinning through fields.
If you're planning on hitting the road today, do it early. Many folks are making their way home after the holidays, or they're headed out to visit more family this weekend. AAA predicts the best time to drive today is before 2 p.m. Worst and busiest drive times are expected to be between 3 and 7 p.m.
And here's a look at what you can expect to pay at the pump today. Gas Buddy released these new numbers this morning just after 3 a.m. The current average in North Carolina is $2.85. According to Gas Buddy, the current average in Raleigh has gone down 1 cent from yesterday. It's now $2.89. The national average is $3.03.
Police are searching for a man named Kellen Cuttance. He is wanted for threatening mass violence on school grounds in Durham. This is a picture of him right here. In light of the school shooting in Madison, Wisconsin last week, people living nearby are quite alarmed by this. We have reached out to Durham Police and Durham Public Schools to learn exactly what type of threat of mass violence that entailed and what school property in Durham that was made on. Durham Police are actively looking for Cuttance, and anyone with information on where he may be is asked to contact Crime Stoppers.
A convicted murderer turned himself in after being on the run for 13 days. This is 47-year-old Latigo Marshall. 2 weeks ago, he was in court for a first-degree murder trial. He took a lunch break and never returned. The next Monday, the jury handed down a guilty verdict. Police say Marshall turned himself in to authorities yesterday in Burlington. He's now in the Alamance County Detention Center with no bond.
A man who Garner police say took officers on a high-speed chase is still on the run. 25-year-old Devon Whittle is wanted in New York for kidnapping. Now, this is video of the car that Whittle rolled just outside Buffalo Lanes. Garner police tried to stop him for expired tags. They say at first he pulled over and then he sped off, hit the gas, drove 90 miles an hour until he rolled that vehicle in a crash. He then ran away into a neighborhood nearby. Whittle has previous charges in New York and a conviction for reckless endangerment. If you see him, you should call 911.
A man is not facing charges after shooting and killing his stepfather. 59-year-old Clarence Majette died. This happened Christmas morning just before noon near Carolina Rest Home Road. Police say Majette and his stepson were fighting and shots were fired. Police say the stepson shot Majette in self-defense. At least 10 people are without homes this morning after an apartment fire in Raleigh. Sky 5 flew over the scene on Sandy Forks Road yesterday morning as fire crews responded. Dozens of people were forced outside. Fire investigators say it all started as an electrical fire and was possibly caused by an HVAC unit. Luckily, no one was hurt.
President-elect Donald Trump's appointed border czar says he believes a showdown may be coming between federal and local authorities. In an NBC News interview, Tom Homan discussed a San Diego measure that would require federal officials to obtain a judicial warrant to remove undocumented migrants from jails. Trump has promised deportation on a mass scale when he takes office. Another concern regarding Trump's plan is the possibility of family separations between migrants and their children. A 2023 decree from the Department of Justice banned family separations for 8 years. Holman said that decree will likely be re-examined. The Chicago Bears and Seattle Seahawks played the lowest scoring game of the season in the NFL last night. Seahawks won it 6-3. Hope you like field goals. It's the first time all season neither team reached 10 points in the game.
Don't miss the final Sunday night football of 2024. You can catch the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. That's at 1 p.m. on Fox 50. Then right after that at 4:25, the Green Bay Packers playing the Minnesota Vikings. You'll want to flip the channel at 8:20 to WRAL to catch the Atlanta Falcons take on the Washington Commanders.
It's 10 after 6 right now on your Friday, and just ahead, stabbed for a bad tip. The wild situation that unfolded after a pizza delivery driver received a $2 tip.
And a temporary home for Helene victims. The Oklahoma couple making a grand jury to our state to help bring campers to those displaced by the storm.
And this morning, we do have some rain still on radar with potentially more to come, even more for the weekend. We're going to time it out on Futurecast and talk about who could see some strong storms coming up.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:14 here on our Friday morning, where we're starting off with some chilly temperatures in the 30s and 40s. In fact, we sit right at 40 in the Triangle. Our temperatures, though, through the weekend, it's going to be incredible, the difference that we are going to see. Watch what happens today, first of all. 47 this afternoon. It is still going to be chilly after a high of 51 that we hit yesterday. But then we get a warm front coming through. This is the coldest day out of the next 7. 47 today, upper 60s through the weekend. It's going to be very noticeable once that front comes through. We should hit our low temperature tonight just about midnight or so, and then by the time we get to tomorrow morning, 7-8 o'clock or so, our temperatures actually are going to go up. We get to Monday at 65, New Year's Eve at 68. Right about midnight, I expect us to be in the low to mid 50s, so still a bit cool.
Anthony, thank you. A Florida woman is facing attempted murder and home invasion charges after deputies say she stabbed someone over a bad tip for a pizza delivery. Police say a mother was stabbed 14 times over a $2 tip. An affidavit says about 30 minutes after the bad tip, the driver returned with a man who had a gun. It says that there was banging on the door, and when the mom opened it, the suspect stormed inside. The other suspect pointed a gun at the boyfriend and a 5-year-old girl while the delivery driver stabbed the mom. When the mom went to the hospital, she found out she was a few weeks pregnant. She is now recovering.
A judge has denied rapper Jay-Z's lawyer's request to identify the rape accuser in a sexual assault lawsuit. Jay-Z has denied the claims from the accuser. She alleges she was 13 years old when the rapper and Sean Diddy Combs raped her during a VMA's after party in 2000. Both Carter and Combs have denied the woman's claims. The judge's Thursday ruling allows the woman to proceed anonymously in the case, but the judge also said she'll revisit that decision as the case progresses. A beloved Fayetteville supermarket burned to the ground in October is now reopening on a part-time basis. Kinlaw's supermarket has been at the corner of Sapona Road for 45 years. October's fire gutted the place. Everything was destroyed. The lot where the iconic supermarket once stood has been cleared now for a new building. Meantime, the owners have opened a makeshift supermarket where loyal customers can get just about everything they want on a smaller scale now.
They drive far to come here, and I used to shop here before I worked here. So, I mean, it's like the customers come in and then they feel welcome. They're helped, and you can't beat it. And now that I have to shop somewhere else, I completely understand.
Yeah, that hometown feel. The owners hope to have the supermarket rebuilt and opened full-time in August of next year.
An Oklahoma family is driving to North Carolina to help those displaced by Helene. Aletta Walker and Tim Johnson spent Christmas renovating campers to bring to Helene victims. They planned to deliver one camper, but ended up buying even more. The family then turned to Facebook, asking for donations so they could provide more than just the campers.
Asked for anybody had any stuff, blankets, sheets, pots, pans, stuff like that to stock it, that we would be happy to take it. And man, they showed up everywhere. I opened the door and my porch is full of stuff.
The family will arrive in Spruce Pine, North Carolina this weekend. The final weekend of 2024 is filled with a whole lot of family fun.
Sure is. We have a list of ideas to help keep you and your family busy, and we're going to start off with some Hanukkah events. In Morrisville, they'll be lighting the menorah tonight at 5 o'clock on Town Hall Drive. Then Sunday, Apex will hold its Hanukkah celebration at the Apex Senior Center. That starts at 3:30 in the afternoon. There'll be holiday crafts and food trucks there. On Monday, downtown Cary Park will hold its Festival of Lights celebration starting at 5:30. There will be holiday music and activities for the kids there.
And there's also going to be some holiday performances coming up. This one pretty unique. The Hip Hop Nutcracker Show is happening Saturday at the Durham Performing Arts Center. It's an all hip hop version of the Nutcracker. The show is reimagined with lots of great music and dancing. Tickets start at $40. A note for parents, though, children under the age of 6 are not allowed at this event.
And if you love Motown, there is a show in Cary that you might want to check out. The Motown Sound of Christmas is happening tonight at the Cary Arts Center. Town of Cary and Pure Life Theater Company are teaming up for this show. You can expect to hear some great music and some holiday surprises as well. Tickets start at $20. For information on these events and many more, you can look ahead to New Year's Eve as well, just by going to WRAL.com and search keyword out and about.
Just before 6:20 on our Friday morning, in some parts of our area waking up to some rain today.
Yeah, if you're headed out and about, the umbrella is going to be a good idea. Maybe keep it around for a couple days. Anthony Baglione in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now.
Yeah, we're seeing that light rain mainly for our southern counties right now. But I think by the time we get to our Sunday this weekend, that is when we're looking at some pretty decent coverage of rain coming through, which we will talk about here shortly. But let's get us over to radar. You can see from about Fayetteville for the southern parts there of our viewing area, even back toward Pinehurst. This is all generally pushing to the northeast. A place like Sanford may see this here in the next little while. Also Dunn, Selma, Goldsboro, and then heading toward the Triangle as we head through the next couple of hours. It's pretty spotty coverage, though. You're not going to need the heavy rain gear this morning, but it's just enough where it's going to be a little inconvenient if you are traveling or just kind of heading out across the area. Here's Futurecast, though. We go through today. We keep the cloud cover in place. We keep that potential for a few light areas of rain. It's pretty spotty overall, pretty hit or miss coverage for the majority of us. And then it starts to taper off as we get closer to this evening. You can see as Futurecast is trying to show there still by about 3, 4, or 5 o'clock or so. Just some scattered showers, but the cloud cover is pretty locked in for us overall today. We look ahead, though, to Sunday. We have a new storm system coming through. It is going to be, at least the potential is there for some strong to severe storms. The Storm Prediction Center has essentially our entire viewing area outlined in a level 2 out of 5 severe storm risk. What that means for us, I do think we could see some gusty, strong winds and a lot of heavy rainfall coming through. Anytime there's that level 2 risk, there's an isolated tornado potential, but I do think that is pretty low at this point. So that's something we'll continue to watch. If you still have holiday decorations out, though, I would secure those just in case. We're looking at wind gusts between about 35 to 45 mile per hour gusts. And so at times it could be enough to knock down those decorations, and that's just something to bear in mind. We go to 47 today. It's going to be chilly. We kind of bookend our forecast with 40s. 68 tomorrow, upper 60s on Sunday. For New Year's Eve there on Tuesday, 68. And then that first day of 2025, we drop back down there into the upper 50s.
And taking a look outside, this is a look at 440 at Ridge Road this morning. Traffic in both directions moving along pretty smoothly. No rain causing any issues there. Looking at the wider picture in the Triangle, we are keeping our eye on this one incident just west of Morrisville and between Morrisville and Chapel Hill. We have an incident on East North Carolina Highway 54 eastbound near Alexander Drive.
6:21 the time right now on your Friday, and just ahead of vaccine mandate lawsuit. The local healthcare system being sued after a woman says they fired her for refusing to get a COVID vaccine.
And are you feeling lucky? The liquor store people are flocking to ahead of tonight's Mega Millions billion-dollar drawing, and why they say this spot is a good luck charm.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
A zoo in Virginia really did get a hippopotamus for Christmas, just like the Christmas song goes.
This is a great delivery here. She's taking Moo Dang's spotlight as well. Let's take a look at what is trending this morning. A baby pygmy hippo made her debut on Christmas Eve at the Metro Richmond Zoo. So far, they have not named her there yet, but this isn't the first time the zoo has received a similar gift on Christmas. Back in 2022, the mom, Iris, had a baby right around the same time.
So cute. Is that like a little scale or a water bowl? Either way, it's adorable.
It is neat. Until they grow up, you know, several hundred pounds later, even the pygmies.
Yeah, but compared to a regular hippo, a non-pygmy hippo, they can weigh several thousand pounds. So I guess it's small and hippo weight.
The size of a car.
Right. The two Christmas Day NFL games on Netflix actually set a streaming record. According to Nielsen, about 65 million combined viewers tuned in to those games on Wednesday. That makes those the most streamed NFL games in U.S. history.
Which is actually surprising because the games were complete duds. But Netflix said viewership spiked, get this, when Beyonce performed right at halftime of the Ravens-Texans game in her home of Houston. And quite a show she put on. It was a lot more entertaining than some of that football was. But they have a 3-year partnership to broadcast those Christmas Day games, so get used to it on Netflix there.
She really does set the bar high for those
Right?
performances. Well, as you may know, tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is worth a whopping $1.15 billion. People in Southern California are hoping to have some luck in their favor in store, and it'll help them get rich. A Bluebird liquor store has sold multiple winning Mega Millions and Powerball tickets. So people are flocking there and lining up, hoping to be tonight's big winner. Remember, you can watch the big drawing right here on WRAL just before our 11 o'clock news.
Yeah, I'm thinking I will be having to get a ticket to that drawing. We head outside, guys, right now. Temperatures are in the 30s and 40s. We are going to, in a sense, win the lottery for our weather this weekend if you like warmer temperatures. We're going to talk about who could get close to 70 and a look at storm chances coming up.
A McDonald's employee is on the run from police after they say he shot and killed a DoorDash driver, who you should be on the lookout for.
And another stowaway on a Delta flight, how they were able to sneak past security to board that plane.